Hello and welcome to the Nest, the home of the Pensacola Christian College Eagles. In tonight's matchup in the first opening game of the Pensacola Invitational, the Lady Eagles will be hosting the Screaming Eagles from Toccoa Falls. Toccoa Falls pick up their first win against NCCAA opponent Payne College. Jalea Howard led the way with 26 points and a victory in that night. Don't go away too far. We'll step aside real briefly and come back with more content here in the Nest, the home of the Pensacola Christian College Eagles. Hello and welcome to the Nest, the home of the Pensacola Christian College Eagles. Hi, I'm Alvin Chapman alongside with SID Braden Martyr. Braden, great to see you tonight.
Excited to be back, Alvin. It's been a while since I've been on the sidelines here with you commentating games, and I'm really looking forward to tonight's matchup.
And honestly, I feel like it's been too long. I think the last game we broadcasted together was the thriller here on senior night against Trinity Baptist, and what a game that was.
I think it was that game, that buzzer beater that Garrett Jones had back last year was really exciting. A good game to close out the year, and hopefully this game that I'm doing tonight is a good game to start the year on.
Yeah, we're bringing with us tonight Leah Phelps. She has double digits in both of her first games of the year. Still losses, average 15 points per contest. What is she going to have to do to possibly get a spark early?
Leah's ability to get to her own spot where she knows she needs to be to get her shot off. She's a really good mid-range player, and her first step and her first push dribble really opens her up for the option of a step back or continuing to dribble drive and obviously hit that mid-range. So look for Leah to create her own shot tonight because that's what she's good at.
Toccoa Falls brings them tonight all-region player last year on the first team, Jalea Howard. Last night she had 26 points, 10 steals, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and 6 assists rather. And one thing that's kind of weird about her statistics is the fact that she had 9 turnovers.
Howard is a really good player. I know Toccoa runs a lot of their options through her, with her being the dribble driver and her being the facilitator too. That's where she gets those 6 assists. Excited to see her play tonight and excited to see what the Eagles do to try and stop her, whether it be double off screens or just double team her period. Just whatever Coach Sellers has put together to try and stop Jalea Howard tonight from getting 26 on us.
Looking at the box score from last night, we see that Leah Phelps had 15 points and 4 steals, but everyone else was in single digits. Jenna Wolford with 1 point, Carissa Aiken with 8. Who do you think is going to have to step up in order for us to remain competitive in this matchup?
I think tonight it's going to fall back on the shoulders of junior Jenna Wolford. After her first game, I believe she had 16 points, going to Faulkner and only comes out with 1. I think she's going to be fired up and ready to go tonight, bring double digits back to the Eagles lineup, and I'm excited to see her play tonight.
Yeah, she actually had a career high of 24 points in the home opener in a loss at Enterprise Community College. But the Eagles so far sitting at 0-2 without 2 of the senior leaders and possibly, arguably, the most 2 best players to come through this conference, Lauren Alvarez and Sandy McElhaney. What are the Eagles going to have to do to possibly find a new identity?
Well, part of the success from last year came from the Pensacola Christian College's Eagles, their press. And so far this year, our press has been a little shaky to start. We've had to drop out of it a few times, struggling to get into it and cause turnovers like we did last year. So look for Coach Sellers tonight to put that press back in play, try and turn over Toccoa, up the pace, because that's where the Eagles thrive, with high pace and a lot of shots.
If I'm the Screaming Eagles and you're their coach right now, what are you doing to possibly start off this season 2-0?
What I'm doing is I'm going to try and force the Eagles to the outside. We have a lot of good dribble drivers on this team. They like to try and get in the paint and then kick to the shooters. So if I'm Toccoa Falls, I'm trying to keep the Eagles out of the paint and make them play on the perimeter all night long.
Kenya Robinson the other night had 17 and 15. What are we going to have to do to stop her and slow her down in the paint?
Someone's going to have to put a body on Robinson. She's obviously a really good player, big player, good rebounder. So someone's going to need to push her out of the paint, grab those rebounds, and get out in transition for the Eagles.
Sarah Holland, 6 threes against HBCU Payne College. What do you have to do to possibly get her inside and cause her to not get in the groove beyond the arc?
She's not as good of a dribble driver as she is a shooter, so the Eagles are going to have to run her off the line and try and get her to put the ball on the floor, because that's where they'll maybe be able to poke away and get some steals.
The big 3 for the Screaming Eagles. They are a threat on the offensive side of the ball, but what are they going to have to possibly do on the defensive side of the ball? We'll talk about that when we come back. Let's take it over to Logan Toothman for the pregame ceremony.
Welcome to the Nest, the home of the Pensacola Christian College Eagles. Tonight's game is between Toccoa Falls and your PCC Lady Eagles. The National Christian College Athletic Association is committed to the true spirit of competition and upholding the 4 core values of the game plan for life: love, integrity, faith, and excellence. We ask that each participant, official, and spectator join us in exhibiting these Christ-like characteristics and help create a positive environment in which to enjoy today's competition. Leading us in prayer tonight will be the Connections Pastor for Campus Church, Pastor Wynn. At this time, please stand for prayer and remain standing for the national anthem.
Let's pray. Father, we come before you tonight and we want to say thank you for the opportunity to gather together and enjoy the spirit of competition. I pray, Lord, that you will keep all participants safe, be with all the players as they work hard. I pray that you'll give them great sportsmanship, give them great effort, keep them safe on the floor, and I pray that you'll help them to enjoy the next couple of days here together. Lord, we ask for the officials that you'll give them wisdom and discernment and help them to make the calls that are appropriate for the game. And Lord, above all, may you be pleased with our attitude and our conduct, as we want to give you the praise and glory for everything. Thank you for this opportunity once again. Give us a good night. And we ask all these things in your precious Son's name. Amen.
Tonight's sports medicine coverage is provided by the Andrews Institute and Baptist Healthcare, the official sports medicine provider for Pensacola Christian College. Starting tonight for Toccoa Falls, number 2, Jaisha Butts. Number 4, Leah Howard. Number 12, Emma Berry. Number 13, Sarah Holland. And number 25, Kenya Robinson. Toccoa is led by Coach Micah Riles. And now the starting lineup for your Pensacola Christian College Lady Eagles. At guard, a sophomore from Belt, Montana, number 20, Kylie Marcus. At guard, a junior from Mansfield, Ohio, number 14, Jenna Wolford. At guard, a junior from Florence, Mississippi, number 24, Alyssa Brewer. At guard, a senior from Flower Mound, Texas, number 23, Leah Phelps. And at forward, a senior from Rockville, Illinois, number 33, Carissa Aiken. The Eagles are led by Coach Jared Sellers with assistant coach Heather Sellers. The officials for today's game are Alicia Lynch, Natasha Brown, and Tony Lofton.
Thank you so much, Logan, for those pregame ceremonies. Braden, super excited here for this matchup. The first matchup the Eagles are going to be facing here in the South region.
I'm excited to see this South region matchup out. We've played two teams that haven't been quite at our level, a little bit higher, NAI school and JUCO school. So I'm excited to play against the South region school, hopefully get the first win of the Lady Eagles season, and hopefully we can get out and get started early here on the scoring.
Freshman forward Kenya Robinson and Carissa Aiken for the tip-off. How important is this matchup going to be here tonight in the front court?
This is going to be a huge matchup for them. Both teams are a little undersized, but have those couple players that are built tall enough as Jenna Wolford drives down the lane, misses the opening look. Need to get, like Carissa just did there, our bigs need to get back on defense, make sure we don't get ourselves out of position.
Here is Howard accelerating the ball past the half-court line. They go inside to Kenya Robinson, and she gets the easy deuce.
You see quick pressure here from Toccoa trying to turn over the Lady Eagles.
That is a foul in the back by Jaisha Butts, the guard out of Jefferson, Georgia. And Toccoa breaks the ice first with beautiful passing inside the interior.
Good ball movement from Toccoa, give and go with a high post. Lady Eagles need to try and find a way to defend that, whether that be a little bit more help or switching off of screens.
On the floor, Howard gets the steal, her first one of the matchup. We'll keep track of that stat for you. Stop and pop in transition. Angelia Howard makes it a 4-0 lead for Toccoa Falls. Aiken dribbles through multiple defenders. Marquise in the corner. Dribble handoff to Alyssa Brewer. Tight defense played by Howard on Jenna Wolford. Not giving her many options. Leah Phelps will take a jump shot, no good. Corralled down by Robinson. Wolford nearly with the steal. We're heading the other direction. Here's Emma Berry. She finds Holland. Holland to Howard. Great pump fake side step three for the right-hander. No good. Butts the rebound. Brewer corrals it. Brewer in transition. Takes the contact. Throws it towards the rim. And she'll head to the free throw line.
Good transition offense there from Alyssa Brewer, grabbing that rebound amongst the Giants and pushing the pace, getting herself in a good position to put up a shot, put herself at the free throw line for two free ones.
A big weekend for our athletics program here at Pensacola Christian College. Both our volleyball teams and soccer teams playing in their regional championships. And we have the Pensacola Invitational here for our basketball programs. Braden.
It's a busy weekend for the Eagles, keeping me busy as a worker, but we love this season where everybody's playing, and hopefully we get a lot of wins for the Eagles this weekend.
After the free throw, we go back to our press. Howard gets the ball past transition, missing many defenders. Holland, corner three, goes up, no good. Rebound by Butts, back to Holland. One more pass over to Howard, guarded by Brewer. Emma Berry tries to go inside to Jaisha Butts, yet the Eagles force a turnover.
Eagles got lucky in that possession, leaving the best shooter on the floor, number 13, Sarah Holland, open in the corner. Need to make sure we stay tied to her, knowing that she's the highest percentage shooter on this Toccoa team. Make sure we're keeping her off the line and forcing her, like I said earlier, into the paint and off the three-point line.
Brewer takes the ball to the corner and finds Wolford. Down low to Aiken, keeps the ball alive, yet turns it over. Second turnover so far for the Eagles. In 2 minutes and 40 seconds elapsed time. Here's Howard, met by Marquise. They get inside to Robinson. Corner to Barry. Back to Robinson. Free throw jumper just rims out, butts the rebound. Wolford gets a hand in it to force the jump ball, rather held ball, but the possession will be owned by Toccoa Falls.
Toccoa Falls using their size and horn sets on the top of the both elbows here as number 4 Howard finds herself open. Offensive rebound here for Toccoa. The Lady Eagles need to try and find a way to keep Toccoa off the offensive glass. I think that's 3 offensive rebounds already given up for the Eagles. Need to find a way to keep them off the glass.
5 on the shot clock. Howard drives, kicks the butts, goes inside, tries to find Robinson, and a foul push in the back. Beautiful defensive possession by the Eagles.
It was good defense, like you just said, by the Lady Eagles, collapsing, knowing the time on the shot clock, knowing there's only 3 seconds left, collapsing on the ball, knowing that a shot's going to have to go up, and good hands by Jenna to get that steal.
3 minutes elapsed so far in the first quarter of play. Yet the Eagles yet to make a field goal. Here's Marquise driving to the basket, hop step to Wolford. Brewer, guarded by Howard, tries to back down the smaller defender. To the rim she goes. Off the backboard and good for Brewer. The first field goal for the game for the Eagles.
Toccoa's playing a lot of pressure defense. Kylie Marcus with the steal. Give back to Alyssa Brewer. Couldn't finish, but offensive rebound from Leah Phelps. Toccoa Falls is really pressuring the ball handler for Pensacola, making the little things like passing difficult. So the ability of the Pensacola Eagles to drive, they need to exploit that here.
The Eagles going back to their trademark 2-2-1 press. Very effective last year with Sandy McElhaney as well as Lauren Alvarez, as Leah Phelps knocks down the first free throw. Second attempt up is good, and the Eagles are going to go right back into that press. A full court press, the best option after a free throw attempt. Here's Howard, goes middle to Holland. Phelps nearly with the steal. She averages about a half a steal a game, 1.5 steals per game rather. And the Eagles were second in the country in takeaways last year.
Like we talked about earlier, it's good to see the Eagles back in their press and back to a successful press, forcing Toccoa to play faster than they would like as Jaliyah Howard hits another jumper for Toccoa.
Jaliyah Howard rather, now with 4 points. Here's Brewer on the other way. Handoff to Marquise. Drives hard and kicks to Phelps. Phelps gets a step on her defender, goes straight to the basket. Off the leg of Phelps, but in the act of shooting, she will go to the free throw line for her second attempts of the day.
That's a second foul on number 4 for Toccoa, Jaliyah Howard. It's going to put her on the bench early on in this matchup. Not what Toccoa wants to see, but definitely what the Eagles want to see this early in the game.
Darianne Atkinson checks into the ball game for the Eagles as Phelps knocks down her first one. She checks into the ball game for Jaliyah Howard, the leading scorer for the Screaming Eagles.
Lady Eagles get their first lead of the game, turning up this pressure, hopefully turning the ball over like we just did there.
Phelps, hard drive inside, off the backboard and good. She has 6.
With Toccoa's primary ball handler, Jaliyah Howard, on the bench, the Eagles are really turning up this pressure, trying to turn the ball over.
Phelps nearly with another takeaway, but gets called for the foul. That's her first. Rachel Phelps and Monse Torres prepared to check into the contest. They're going to come in for Kylie Marquise and Carissa Aiken. Rachel Phelps, the sister of Leah Phelps, both very speedy guards.
Excited to see them play together this year. They've already showed a little bit of what they can do when they play together. They like to play the top of that press together. They're both, like you said, very quick, fast hands, able to get some steals. So excited to see what these Phelps sisters can do on top of this press.
Barry drives hard to the basket and gets fouled while doing so.
That foul on number 14, Jenna Wolford, her first of the contest. Luckily for the Eagles, no foul trouble yet, as Toccoa has that.
Here is Holland. Back to Barry. They go inside to Robinson. Atkinson tries to drive on Phelps. Barry back to Atkinson. Pump fake to the lane, and the floater is good for Darianne Atkinson.
Hey, can we get a trainer? We got someone bleeding.
Brewer. All the way to the rim, floater in the lane, offhand, can't get the lucky bounce. Beautiful drive to the basket, though, by the junior, Alyssa Brewer, and she'll prepare for the inbound.
Was just about to say, we love seeing Alyssa Brewer and Leah Phelps get downhill. If Toccoa is going to really pressure the ball handler, the first step and quick dribble of 24 and number 23 for the Eagles, getting downhill opens up the lane for drives and shooting on kickouts.
Leah Phelps, she'll pull up for a jumper in rhythm and finds the bottom of the net. She now has 8 points. In transition, now number 35, Alyssa Loveman. They'll go inside to Robinson. Sam Barry driving to the rim, changes direction, goes strong to the basket, and gets fouled in the act of shooting.
That foul on Jenna Wolford, her second of the game. We talked about this a moment ago. Eagles not being in foul trouble. Unfortunately, early on, Jenna Wolford with 2 fouls in the first quarter. Hopefully she can stay out of foul trouble the rest of the game.
Kristen Menser prepares to check into the contest as Sam Barry heads to charity stripe and misses the first one. Second attempt up and finds the rim, touching every portion of the front and back of the rim.
She got what we call a shooter's roll. If you're a good shooter, shoot with enough arc, you'll get all the bounces in the world and it'll normally fall for you.
Wolford checks out the contest for Menser. And here's Monse Torres, finds Menser. Eagles running an array of flex cuts to possibly get a defender open on the baseline. And that is a steal in transition by Raina Buer. Raina Buer. Here's number 35, Alyssa Loveman. Takes 2 screens and kicks corner to Buer. And it's good.
Like we talked about earlier, Lady Eagles need to make sure we're closing out on those shooters of Toccoa Falls. They're looking to drive and kick. When they get inside, they're looking to kick out for their shooters. Lady Eagles need to be aware of that. Don't get caught in too much help. Make sure we're closing out.
Here's Brewer trying to go inside to Torres. Backs down on the smaller defender and kicks to Mentor for a jumper. Beautiful pass, but can't get the finish. The Screaming Eagles up by 1 point. Atkinson drives to the basket and kicks corner. Way off the mark for number 10, Kiera Johnson. Menser now in transition. Hits a cutting Phelps. Behind the back basket, no good. Torres hits the deck. And the possession will stay here with the Eagles.
Great hustle from number 21, Monse Torres. Leah Phelps with a good back cut. Menser found her going baseline. Couldn't finish it, but with the hustle of Monse Torres, she was able to save it, keep it in bounds. Lady Eagles ball.
Senior guard Amber Porter, as well as number 30, Melanie Bowser, checks into the game for the Eagles with 3:18 left in the first quarter of regulation. Torres works on her defender and finds the rim. Off-balance shot for points for Torres. She now has 2.
Lady Eagles turning up the pressure here, hopefully getting a turnover. Melanie Bowser laying out, trying to keep that ball in bounds. Great hustle from the Lady Eagles. With 22 seconds left on the shot clock, Toccoa has to get across half in just 2 seconds.
One thing that I'm loving that Coach Sellers is doing is that he's continuing to have that press for the Eagles, and the beautiful defensive display forces the 10-second shot clock violation.
That's the effectiveness of a press. Whether or not you get that steal, if you just keep the ball in the backcourt for 10 seconds, obviously then there's the 10-second violation, and that counts as just as much of a turnover as a steal.
Bowser preparing for the inbound. And goes to Menser. Under 3 minutes remaining in the first quarter of regulation. Here's the dribble handoff to Rachel Phelps. Loses her defender. And that is a foul on the floor. Awarded now to Monse Torres.
Great hesitation by Rachel Phelps. Saw a little bit of gap between her screens. Gave just a little bit of patience, caused her, her defender to stumble a little bit. Grabs Monse Torres, sends her to the free throw line.
She has a field goal in this matchup. The freshman from San Juan del Rio, Mexico. I got it right. There we go. Took me a while to get that city in Mexico right, but I finally did. Monse Torres, a game I remember from her. Bob Jones last year at their place had 4 points, but a career high of 12 rebounds as she misses the second free throw attempt. Back door. Can't cash in the points. Rachel Phelps heading the other direction. 1-on-3 break there. Yet Toccoa Falls forces the turnover.
That was a good push from Rachel Phelps, trying to get her way to the basket. She is a freshman, so as time develops, she'll learn to see that 3-on-1 and maybe dribble the ball back out and get a better possession. But with 26 seconds left on the shot clock, the Eagles still have almost full possession here.
Menser backing inside, floater in the lane, no good. Somehow Porter comes down with it. Second attempt for Menser, misses everything in the rim. Another attempt for Menser. Drive inside, and gets the layup to fall.
Third time's a charm. Great hustle by the Lady Eagles, continuing to badger the offensive glass, and gets that offensive rebound and gets 2 points for Menser.
Eagles going with a 1-2 press. Beat it. Here's Atkinson. Marquise comes back to the table, preparing to check in. Here's Johnson driving hard to the paint. Misses. Menser tries for the rebound, but in the end, the biggest Eagles, no good. Rebound for Johnson, no good. Menser comes down with it. Johnson checking her full court of the length of the field. Full length of the court, rather. Give and go to Bowser. She hits the deck. Rather, Porter.
That was the right idea for the Lady Eagles give and go between Kristen and Amber, but unfortunately Amber loses her footing and turns the ball over.
Kylie Triega checks into the competition here for the Screaming Eagles. And Kylie Marquise comes into the contest for Rachel Phelps. Atkinson with the ball.
Great active hands from Kristen Menser, trying to keep this press alive, and they get the turnover.
Finds Marquise, layup off the backboard and good. Her first points.
Great find from Kristen Menser. That's what you get with a little bit of pressure. Turn the ball over, turns into a 3-on-2. From the Lady Eagles.
A minute and 19 seconds left in the first quarter of play. Alvin Chapman alongside with Braden Monner. Braden, what a game we have on our hands. The Eagles lead by 6.
Eagles started a little slow. It took them about 3 minutes before they got their first bucket, but they've clearly turned it up a little bit. This press is causing some problems for Toccoa. We're turning them over in the back. 10-second violation. Love seeing this pressure.
A fine. Triega goes inside to Johnson. Floater in the lane. No good. Smith the rebound and gets fouled. That's going to be on Monse Torres, her first foul, as we now have 1 minute and 4 seconds left in the first quarter. Battery, the inbounder. Jalea Howard has not made an appearance back in the first quarter since she picked up 2 quick fouls. And here's Smith, drives inside on Porter, and she gets the rejection.
Great defense by Amber Porter. Moved her feet, stayed in front. When the shooter tried to go over top of her, she just jumped straight up. Didn't get a foul call. Great defense by Amber Porter.
Under a minute left to operate and 13 on the shot clock for the Screaming Eagles. They get it back to Smith. Jumper on the way, no good. Monse comes down with the rebound. Menser demanding the offense. Spins off her defender and gets double teamed. Goes inside to Monte Torres, throws up a shot, no good, keeps the ball alive, yet throws it away to Johnson. She was double teamed. 3-second difference between the shot clock and game clock, and Melanie Bowser comes up with the foul.
I like the aggressiveness from the Lady Eagles. As soon as Toccoa gets trying to go in transition, they're dogging them from behind, trying to poke the ball out. Sometimes does lead to a couple fouls, but I do love the aggressiveness from the Lady Eagles.
Leah Phelps comes to the table for the Eagles, as well as Alyssa Brewer and Carissa Aiken. Alyssa Brewer, her freshman year, she averaged 11.7 points per game and was a freshman first team selection in the South region. Second attempt is up, and it is good for Toccoa Falls as they shorten the deficit to 4 points.
One thing to think about if you're Coach Sellers and the Lady Eagles, you do have to remember that Jalea Howard has been on the bench for probably about 6 minutes now. She may come back a little bit sore or a little bit tight, but you also have to think we're only up by 4 with their best player on the bench. Hopefully the Lady Eagles can take advantage of these last 30 seconds and get a few more point differential here on the scoreboard.
Number 31, Haley Triaga, picks up a foul and will send Alyssa Brewer to the charity stripe. She already has 3 points and 1 trip to the free throw line in this contest. First attempt is up for the Eagles and good. And as I mentioned earlier, Braden, the best time to apply a full court press is after a free throw attempt, especially a made one.
Yeah, when both the teams are kind of set, no one's really looking to run. Unfortunately, Brewer couldn't make that free throw to allow us to do a press, but still trying to apply a little bit of pressure here. Great tip by Kylie Marcus.
Beautiful persistence to the ball. Now Toccoa Falls with 20 seconds on the game clock. Looking to get one more shot up. Adkins now with the ball. Rather, Alyssa Loveman now guarded by Leah Phelps.
Key thought in the last 10 seconds is not to give up a foul and bail them out.
And I believe that is going to stay here with Toccoa Falls. Surprised that did not come off the foot of Haley Triaga.
That's good defense by the Eagles, like I talked about a second ago. Not fouling, just containing, and when somebody dribble drives, getting a hand on the ball. Unfortunately, not off for Toccoa. Toccoa still has the ball with 3 seconds left. Need 3 more seconds of good defense from the Eagles.
They get inside to Robinson, no good. A takeaway before the end of the first quarter, and oh my!
Leah Phelps was able to make that shot, but unfortunately a few seconds after the buzzer, so shot did not count. But hey, that's a good shot from Leah Phelps.
Took that from the half-court line and drained it, but we're still sitting here at a 19-14 lead for the Eagles. We'll step aside. (19-14) is the score after 10 minutes of basketball. Alvin Chapman alongside with Braden Motter. Braden, what have you been seeing in this first half?
I've talked about it a few times, but this press from the Lady Eagles is very, very successful right now. We're trapping, we're making easy passes difficult, and that's the key to a good press, is not allowing the easy passes to be easy. And we are turning over Toccoa, getting a couple 10-second calls. But a big note for the Lady Eagles is Jalea Howard subs back into the game here in the second quarter. They need to consciously find a way to keep her from scoring.
Marquise to the basket, step-through move, hard off the backboard, and they get it to Jalea Howard, who is ahead of the pack. One man to beat off the backboard, and she draws the foul.
Good transition offense from Toccoa Falls. A great find from Kenya Robinson to find Jalea Howard. Good hustle defense by Leah Phelps. Unfortunately, just catches her on the arm. Gives her 2 fouls in the contest.
Congratulations to our men's soccer team who just recently punched their ticket to the South Regional Soccer Championship.
Yeah, defeated Johnson of Tennessee on the road at Trinity Baptist. Was able to win 2-0. It's a great win for the Eagles, and they'll be playing for the championship on Saturday.
Yeah, I believe they'll be playing the winner of not Toccoa Falls, but Trinity Baptist and Bob Jones. Howard comes up with the steal. Finds Holland. Butts back to Holland. One more pass to Barry. 3 on the way. It's good. That knocks up the game for Toccoa Falls. Emma Barry. They get it to Brewer, and that's knocked out of her hands.
Good transition offense from the Eagles there. Good find, Kylie Marcus cutting Alyssa Brewer. Unfortunately gets the ball stripped.
Howard, full head of steam to the cup, off the backboard, no good, but she will pick up the foul. She had 2 fouls in the last contest, and now, not in the last contest, she picked up 2 fouls in the first quarter rather, but now she just allowed the Eagles to pick up another 2, which she can possibly take the lead here. First attempt is up and off the rim. If you look at her last game where she had 26 points against Payne College, she went 16 of 21 from the charity stripe. A lot of takes and visits to that line as she misses both. Jalea Howard, a craftsman of drawing fouls, and uses her size to her advantage. Phelps gets the step, Barry with the beautiful help side defense.
Once again, that's a great drive from Leah Phelps, finding her way into the paint, just gets the ball stripped at the last second. Maybe look to go up just a little bit sooner and avoid that steal attempt there.
They get it to Porter. Porter to Phelps. Brewer, guarded by Howard. Phelps in the corner. They try to go inside to Aiken, and that is another takeaway for the Screaming Eagles.
Unfortunately, the Lady Eagles are getting a little too deep in their shot clock. They're getting down to about 8 or 7 seconds, and then they realize it, and they're having to try and force passes or force shots. Lady Eagles need to look to try and get into their offense just a little bit sooner in the shot clock.
Robinson goes to Howard. 3 on the way. Wedges between the rim. Butts gets it stolen away by Phelps. Great effort to try to save it, but the ball slides out of bounds. Barry for the inbound. Howard receives the screen from Robinson. Takes too strong of a dribble, but finds Kenya Robinson, and she works inside. One move to the basket against Carissa Aiken. That's no good. Ball nearly stolen by Porter. Phelps going the other direction. Misses the layup. Here's Butts.
Good transition defense from the Lady Eagles. 3 people sitting in the paint waiting for Toccoa to come down. Good team transition defense.
Phelps will stop for a jumper. That's good. Beautiful counterattack from the Screaming Eagles miss.
Great patience from Leah Phelps. Gets the outlet pass, pushes the floor, realizes her defender's waiting for her, just stops and pops with a little mid-range jumper, knocks it down for 2.
Phelps leads all scorers now with 10 points. Pass by Robinson gets thrown away. Intended target, Emma Berry, as now Jenna Wolford checks back into the contest. The last time we were here having the broadcast, Jenna Wolford went for a career high of 24 points against Enterprise Community College. Eagles with a 2-point lead. Rachel Phelps also checked into the game. Strong move towards the basket. A lot of contact, no call. Here is Howard. Guarded by Rachel Phelps. Howard with the step to the basket, kicks it to Butts. And is an offensive foul drawn by the mastermind, Jenna Wolford.
Jenna Wolford is genuinely one of the best charge takers I've ever seen. She's very, very smart and able to kind of bait you into continuing to drive, and then she takes one step forward, takes it in the chest, and draws that charge.
Brayden, we've talked about this on multiple occasions, but if taking charges was the actual stat that basketball teams kept hold of, Jenna may be the leading charge taker in the nation.
She may have been the leading charge taker for PCC in history just from last year. If I remember correctly, I believe she had 20-something charges last year. So Jenna Wolford, unfortunately there, Toccoa baits her into drawing a charge.
Butts returns the favor, but the Eagles able to set up back into their 2-2-1 press. Melanie Browser checks into the ball game, and Wolford now with 3 fouls.
Wolford with 3 has to go to the bench, probably have to go for the remainder of the quarter. That's a huge hit to the Lady Eagles offense.
They go to Butts, back to Barry. Howard calls a play guarded by Brewer. And that is stolen away, tipped by Phelps. Bowser in transition all alone, dumps it off to Phelps, off the backboard, another miss in transition for Phelps. Tries to keep the ball in possession alive here for the Eagles. That is a held ball going in the direction of Toccoa Falls.
That was a great transition look from Melanie Bowser. She went down the court, no one on her, and then as soon as the defender took a step to her, dumped off a pass, left a wide open light for Leah Phelps. Unfortunately, she couldn't finish.
Not just a great look, but an unselfish look, drawing the defender and getting the attention of the Toccoa Falls defense. Long pass to Butts. Marquis secures it. Here's Phelps in transition. Picks up her dribble and finds her sister. Marquis with the ball. Thought about a shot, will drive instead. Step through move. And Marquis will head to the charity stripe. Couldn't see the continuation of the play. Brayden, you're actually in front of me, but I was just going to wait for the referee to come by. But Marquise will take her first attempts at the charity stripe as Holland checks out the ball game for number 35, Alyssa Loveman.
That last block foul there on Kiera McDaniel for Toccoa Falls. Does a great drive from Kylie Marcus. Good head fake on the three-point line, gets downhill. Unfortunately, unable to finish with the offhand, but still a good drive. Gets herself at the free throw line.
Marquise with her first attempts at the charity stripe knocks them down both. She now has 4 points in this contest. Eagles up by 4. We'll step aside now with 6 minutes even left in the half. Six minutes even left in the half. Eagles with the 4-point lead and applying that 2-2-1 press once again. 6 seconds to get it over. And Rachel Phelps picks up the pushing foul.
It's a good press front there from the Lady Eagles. Rachel Phelps, like we talked about earlier, trying to dog that play from behind. Unfortunately, number 21, Kiera McDaniels, just turns around and takes the brunt of it right in her chin.
5:55 remaining on the clock with a fresh shot clock here for Toccoa. Emma Berry controls it, beating Rachel Phelps in the half-court setting. Gets it to McDaniel. Back to Berry. Drives hard and dumps it down low for a layup. No good for Toccoa. That was number 24, Taylor Clouds. A fresh 20 for Toccoa Falls to try to convert on some points here. Nearly nowhere to go, but they find Jaisha Butts for 2.
It's a good baseline out of bounds play there by Toccoa, leaving everybody taken off outside the three-point line, leaving an isolation with your post player in the paint.
Eagles up by 2. Phelps from way downtown, hard off the rim. McDaniels now the rebound, but Brewer to steal. Finds Leah Phelps. Thought about a shot, but beautiful defense by Emma Berry. Phelps will go all the way to the rim, hard off the mark. Under 5 minutes left to go. Here's number 35, Alyssa Loveman. Loveman, dribble handoff to Berry. Corner 3 on the way, no good, but butts the rebound. Second opportunity here for the Screaming Eagles. McDaniel finds Loveland, back to Butts. One more dunk down to Claus. Third opportunity for points, and Claus will head to the free throw line.
Lady Eagles struggling to rebound right now. Coach Seller sending Monse Torres to the table to sub in, probably going in to help with the rebounding. Lady Eagles, like we talked about before the game started, really need to make sure we're pushing Toccoa Falls out of the paint, boxing out and getting some rebounds, preventing these second chance opportunities.
Mentor checks into the ball game as well. Another terrific rebound here for the Eagles as they lead by 2. At the free throw line, number 24, forward freshman from Dauphin, Alabama, Taylor Klaus. Hard off the front of the rim. Kenya Robinson at the table for the shooter. As Howard checks back into the contest as well. Eagles leading by 1.
Toccoa Falls trying to turn the pressure up a little bit here on the Lady Eagles like we're doing. Fortunate for the Lady Eagles. A little bit of an awry pass there, but gathers possession and gives us 25 on the shot clock.
Fake the handoff to Phelps. Here's Menser. Under 20 seconds left on the shot clock. They go inside to Monse Torres, and too strong of a pass right through the fingers of Torres.
One thing I've noticed with the Lady Eagles right now, for some reason we're catching the ball, putting a dribble or two down, and then picking the ball up immediately, which then obviously limits your options. We need to be catching and looking before we put the ball on the floor so we're not putting ourselves in bad situations.
Layup for Howard off the backboard and good. She has 6. That gives Toccoa Falls the lead, and Menser travels in the full court setting.
Toccoa turning that pressure up just like Pensacola did to start the second quarter. Toccoa is doing it here at the end of the second quarter, trying to turn the pressure up, turn Pensacola over with their ball handler, one of their ball handlers, Jenna Wolford, having to be on the bench with some foul trouble.
They go inside to Robinson. Berry 3 on the way, off the front of the rim. Long rebound by Phelps. Off to the races, Brewer cuts inside, layoff off the glass, and good for Brewer.
Great find by Leah Phelps, really smart play. As soon as Brewer caught that ball, she knew she had to change directions, get back to her right hand. That was a great drive and a good dribble drive by Alyssa Brewer, and good finish at the rim. Gives the Lady Eagles a lead.
Berry gets it over with 3 seconds left to spare. Here's Howard, drives hard inside, steps through the defenders, and will head back to the charity stripe. Howard, a mastermind at drawing contact and also picking up fouls for the opposition.
Like you talked about a couple minutes ago, I think she made 16 free throws in their previous game. Very good at getting to the free throw line and obviously good at converting them too.
And those 16 free throws was of 26 points, so the other 10 points were on the field. As she knocks down the first one and converts on both. She now has 8. And Berry steals it in transition. Howard drives inside, goes to the basket once again and misses. Monte corrals the rebound, and Robinson picks up the quick foul. On the floor though, so the Eagles once again are going to have to try to beat the Screaming Eagles press. Porter comes into the game for Katie Irwin. And Kylie Marquise checks into the contest as well. They get it to Brewer. Phelps in transition. Step through, move to the lane, and finds the rim.
Great Euro step there from Leah Phelps. Great dribble drive in transition, realizing that everyone starts fading away from her a little bit, so she goes up strong and finishes. Give her 12 points in the game.
Eagles with the lead. They get it to Johnson. One more pass to Atkinson for 3 off the front of the rim. Rebound right in the hands of Brewer. Goes behind their back with the fancy dribble. Nearly throws it away, but back to Brewer. Layup on the way. A lot of contact on the trip to the basket, but she'll head to the charity stripe to try to convert on 2 free throws. That's the first one for Deja Smith.
Great patience and good dribble drive by Alyssa Brewer again. Could have maybe given the ball up a little bit earlier in transition. Leah Phelps was streaking down the court, but it's all right. She didn't find her, gets herself to the free throw line.
First attempt swirls out of the basket there for Brewer. Now shooting 50% from the charity stripe.
Yeah, some visual frustration there from Alyssa Brewer. Knows she's a good free throw shooter, and she gets upset with herself when she misses.
Takes care of the second one. She now has 7. 2:30 left in this half of play, and that's a turnover forced by the Eagles. Marquise with the ball, receives it from Porter. Brewer on the way to the basket, a lot of contact, no call. Torres the rebound. Phelps back to Torres, she'll take a jumper. That's good for Torres.
Good ball movement there by the Lady Eagles. Inside out with a dribble drive kick, and then back to the high post, easy jumper for Monte Torres.
Torres taking the jumper. She's getting a lot more confident with her jump shot now this season. Basket inside and a foul rewarded to number 5 for Toccoa, Cherry Gayboy. Sherry Gaboy on the first free throw attempt, and it's good for Toccoa. Coming on off the bench for her first couple minutes of action in this tonight's matchup. Second attempt for Gaboy, and it is good. Shrinking the lead to 2 points. Brewer to Torres. Hands off to Phelps, back to Torres. 2-man games with Phelps and Torres. And Phelps will take a jumper in rhythm, and beautiful stroke it was. Now with 14.
Good patience again by Leah Phelps. Rocks her defender to sleep and then pulls up from mid-range.
Porter nearly with the takeaway, but Gaboy comes down with it and through the hands of Smith, somehow recovers. Brewer in transition off the takeaway. Phelps drives hard to the basket and gets it stolen away by Barry. It will stay here though. Rachel Phelps checks into the contest. In the regular starting lineup for Toccoa Falls, enters back into the game. Mentor checks into the contest as well for Alyssa Brewer. Possibly the last time we will see her for the remainder of the half, but a well-deserved rest she will get.
Leah Phelps and Alyssa Brewer playing a lot of minutes there in that first half. Coach Sellers, knowing that there's only a minute left, put in some subs, gives them an extra breather, extra long halftime here.
Torres works on her defender and gets it right back to Rachel. Torres collects the miss. Here's Marcus. Porter, corner to Menser. Drives hard. Gets it to Torres. 3 seconds on the clock. Hard off the backboard. Howard brings the ball into the half-court setting. Trailing by 4. Robinson tries to work on Torres. Had a double-double in her first appearance of the season. Back to Robinson. Great basket, counted as well.
That was great ball movement there by Toccoa. Gives the ball out to the perimeter. When she drives, then a little slip by number 25, Kenya Robinson, for the easy 2 and 1.
Her first points of the half, total of 4 now.
That foul on Amber Porter, her second of the first half here.
Robinson completes the 3-point play. And now a 3-second difference between the shot clock and game clock. Beautiful passing here by the Eagles as they trail by 1. Menser drives hard inside. And Coach Sellers calls a timeout prior to Menser's basket.
I think Coach Sellers is probably knowing there's only 20 seconds left on the shot, or 19 left on the shot clock and 21 and a half on the game clock. I bet he's going to try and draw up a play and make sure they get a bucket here in the last possession of the half.
And we're going to stay here and talk about this last bucket. How pivotal is it for the Eagles to score right before half here?
Well, only up by one, 32-31 our score here with only 21 seconds left. I think Coach Sellers is looking to get an easy 2 here, putting that into it'll still be a 1-possession game, but extend that lead just enough to where you go into halftime with a little bit of confidence, knowing that you just got a bucket, come out in that second half with a lot more confidence and excitement.
One thing that would be even better as well is what if the Eagles can possibly get to the charity stripe with this final possession. Well, not final possession. There's a 2 to 3 second difference between the shot clock and game clock, but the Eagles can possibly get more points than just 2 or 3. Menser, the inbound. Torres wide open down low and converts on the inbound play.
Just like we talked about, I'm sure that's a play that Coach Sellers just drew up perfectly, gets one of his better post players a wide open layup under the basket.
A lead of 3 is a lot more comfortable than a lead of 1 going into the half. Monse Torres now with 7 points off the bench.
Lady Eagles need a stop here in this possession. A 3-point game with 7 seconds left. Like I said earlier, don't foul and bail them out. Make them make a mistake.
Robinson drives hard to the basket, and Monse Torres picks up the foul. That's her 3rd. Very difficult play call there for Monse Torres. It seemed like she got nothing but ball, but possibly got caught on her wrist in that situation.
Yeah, unfortunately, Monse a little bit slow with her feet there. Doesn't beat her to the spot, and so she has to try and reach in and rip the ball with her hands and gets that foul call. Puts Kenya Robinson at the free throw line.
First free throw attempt empty for Robinson. Second attempt hits the back of the rim. The Eagles now with nearly 4 seconds to go to possibly try to get a shot here. We saw Leah Phelps hit a half-court heave earlier. They get it to her sister Rachel. Drives hard inside, lets it fly. Just short, Braden.
That was a good try by Rachel Phelps. Maybe one less dribble. I don't think she got that off in time, but it's all right. Lady Eagles going into the half with a 2-point lead.
34-32, the lead, 2 ways through the game. Braden will be back after this.
It's a passion that unites us, the heartbeat of everything we do. Since 1974, we've been building, reaching, expanding our limits. And yet today, one thing hasn't changed. Pensacola Christian College empowers leaders to influence the world for Christ.
Want to get a head start in college? With Pensacola Christian College's online dual enrollment program, you can do just that. Open to juniors and seniors in Christian schools and Abeka Academy homeschoolers, dual enrollment students can take up to 6 online courses per year, all counting towards PCC college credit requirements. With 3 different options throughout the school year and summer and over 20 courses, choose to lighten your college load. And, depending on your major, finish college early. You will be able to fit courses around your schedule. A perfect way to complete many of your general college education courses before you graduate high school and step foot on campus. To learn more about getting a head start on your education today, visit pcci.edu/dual enrollment.
Choosing a college is so much more than deciding where you're going to live for the next few years. It's choosing a culture, group of people, and academic standard that will shape you into the person you want to become. It's an exciting time, and when you visit campus, it gets even more exciting. It's your moment to get a feel for the atmosphere and community. Catch a game, sit in on classes, visit chapel, make new friends, and so much more. And now you can experience college life your way with multiple visit options. No matter when you come, you'll find a vibrant community influencing the world for Christ. You won't just blend in, you'll belong. So don't wait. See how you can experience PCC today.
Welcome back, fans from all over, whether from around the country or around the world, watching from the comfort of your own home or even on a mobile device. We are excited to welcome you back to the Nest, the home of the Pensacola Christian College Eagles, who are now currently up by a score against Toccoa Falls. Braden, what a first half we were able to witness as the Eagles almost suffer a near turnover.
It was a really good first half from the Lady Eagles, good scoring. A couple people in foul trouble, Jenna Wolford with 3 and Monse Torres with 3. But excited to see the Lady Eagles coming into the second half. Looks like they're coming out with a little more fire. Seen 2 back cuts already, and now a layup for Kylie Marcus. I think back cuts and the overplaying of Toccoa Falls is something Coach Sellers really emphasized at halftime.
And the Eagles going back to their trademark 2-2-1 press, trying to force a turnover in the full court setting, and indeed they do.
That was a great press again from Pensacola, coming out of the half, aggressive, ready to go. That gives Toccoa Falls 16 turnovers on the night, and I think Pensacola is going to want to get them near in the 20s, if not the 30s, by the end of the night.
Brewer controls it and finds Wolford. She's going to have to play on eggshells here in the second half as she has 3 fouls. Phelps all the way to the cup and finds the rim. Leah Phelps with 16. They go middle to Butts. Back to Howard. We emphasized in the first half how crafty she is around the rim, drawing fouls and putting some of the best players in foul trouble. Holland backdoor, but Wolford doing a great job disrupting the pass.
Great defense from the Lady Eagles. Good transition offense again, getting up and down the court quickly, finding the open person.
Phelps met by Barry. They try to go inside to Aiken. That's snatched away by Butts. 3-on-3 break. They go corner to Howard. Shot on the way, no good. Barry has the hand on it, and it will be going towards the northbound of the field for the Eagles.
It's not the place you want to be in if you're Jenna Wolford, having to guard the best ball handler Toccoa has with 3 fouls, having to stay off a little bit, give her a little bit of room so you don't pick up that 4th foul.
In the game goes number 10, Kiera Johnson. And she'll come in for Butts.
Toccoa Falls trying to put in a little bit of a press on their own. They see our press and it being successful, getting some turnovers, and look like they're trying to turn us over too.
Back to Phelps. Beautiful 1-2 play in the full court setting. Phelps on the move. Tries to go inside to Aiken and nearly turned the ball over for a second time in a row. Wolford, Aiken wide open on the low block, but goes right through her hands.
That was a great look by Jenna Wolford. Great vision to see the open. Carissa Aiken unfortunately falls through her hands and unable to finish.
Now turnover in the back of the minds of the Eagles as they go right back to their 2-2-1 press. They give it to Howard. Picks up her dribble and throws it away.
I think this press is maybe even a little bit in the head of Toccoa Falls. That's not even a PCC forced turnover. It's just a little bit of a pace turnover for Toccoa Falls. Great defense by the Lady Eagles.
Brewer, in and out dribble. Phelps loses her defender. Tries to stutter step before the dribble and walks away with one. Traveling call for Leah Phelps, but the Eagles, right after the turnover, right in the back of their minds, going back to their trademark press.
Lady Eagles not pressuring too much in this press. They're more just containing, letting Toccoa just slow the pace down a little bit and let the Lady Eagles get set on our half.
Brewer now guarding the guard, Howard. Gives it to Johnson. Johnson goes back to Howard. The ball was tipped. 3 on the way, no good. Holland tries to save it in the hands of Marcus. Phelps. Wolford was wide open. She gets to it. Brewer on the perimeter for a 3. No good. Eagles only shooting actually no 3s in the first half. Kind of uncharacteristic for this ball club. Rather programmed.
Lady Eagles struggling a little bit to get some open looks on the 3-point line, but being up 38-32, nothing seems to be going terribly wrong so far. We're looking more for back cuts in the second half because Toccoa's overplaying the 3-point line so much. So Lady Eagles may not be shooting as many 3s as they're used to shooting, but they are getting open looks.
Get it back to Brewer off the glass and no good. And the possession will remain with, not remain, but go to the Screaming Eagles. They get it to Holland. Back to Holland, met by Phelps. Barry gets it back to Holland. Phelps nearly takes it away. And Wolford does. In transition, met by Howard, goes to the corner. Back to Brewer, all alone, there goes Aiken, backs down her defender. Phelps gets a step on her man and draws the contact enough for the whistle.
It's a good drive by Leah Phelps. Good early ball movement from PCC. I talked about in the first half a little bit, the Lady Eagles were getting a little too deep into the shot clock. Seems to be another emphasis Coach Sellers talked about at halftime. We're getting into our offense a lot quicker, finding the open man as soon as possible instead of waiting for the clock to get down on us.
Triega and Loveman checked into the ballgame for Toccoa Falls as Phelps knocks down her first one. She leads all scorers with 17. Another free throw on the way for Phelps, and her sister plans to check in the ballgame plans to check into the ballgame for Brewer.
Talked about earlier the Phelps sisters being on top of this press. Both very quick, very active hands. Excited to see them turn over Toccoa here, hopefully.
Triega gets it back to Loveman. Back to Triega. Throws it away in the hands of Rachel Phelps and draws the foul. That's her third.
Rachel, you got the one. You got the one. Kick it out, Sam. Hey, hey.
Rachel Phelps preparing for the inbound, received by Aiken. Aiken drives hard to the basket, and that's tipped away. Howard drives hard to the cup and scores with ease. She now has 12, the leading scorer for Toccoa Falls. Toccoa now playing a boxing one on Leah Phelps. Johnson glued to her. They get it to Marquise. Beautiful pump fake. Jumper in the lane. No good. Wolford tries to pull down the board. And a held ball, yet will be rewarded to Toccoa, but beautiful effort there by the junior from Mansville.
That was a great effort there, like you said, for Jenna Walford. Shot goes up. Unfortunately, couldn't get the shot to go in, but because of the hustle, although Toccoa keeps possession, like you said, Pensacola now gets the next held ball, so great hustle from Jenna Walford does not go unnoticed.
Menser and Torres checks into the ballgame. What a first half Torres had. 7 points and 5 rebounds, possibly the makings of a career night for her. Howard drives inside, throws it hard off the backboard, no good. Second attempt by Robinson, just rolls out the rim. Another attempt by Robinson, count the basket and foul for Kenya Robinson.
That foul on Monse Torres, that gives her 4 fouls.
Kenyon Johnson, with the free throw attempt, hits the back of the rim. Menser secures the board and gets called for double dribble. That and one attempt could be a momentum shifter here for Toccoa as they get the quick turnover, and now a fresh 30. Howard drives to the paint, and Monte Torres forces the jump ball.
That's good defense by Monse Torres. Stayed straight up, knowing that she now has 4 fouls, doesn't reach, doesn't extend the arms, just puts them straight up and stands still. Number 4, Jalea Howard just runs right into her and gets a held ball for the Lady Eagles.
Great switch by the Eagles. Wolford up and under, no good. Out of bounds by Toccoa Falls. And this will set up an inbounds play here for Pensacola. They get inside to Torres. Torres works on her defender and gets it off to Wolford. And that's a foul on Jalea Howard, the leading scorer for Toccoa Falls, and she checks out the contest. In comes number 12, Emma Berry.
That gives Jalea Howard 4 fouls, and unfortunately for Toccoa Falls, she's going to have to be on the bench probably till the start of the fourth quarter. Lady Eagles really need to take advantage here, knowing that the best scorer for Toccoa is now on the bench. You got 5 minutes to play. Let's see if we can't grow a little bit of a lead here.
Torres kicks it to Menser. 8 on the shot clock. Torres drives inside, straight to the basket, and draws the foul. We mentioned Torres having a phenomenal first half, 7 points and 5 rebounds.
Good to see Monse trying to get to the free throw line, staying aggressive. Anybody that can come off the bench and give you anything more than a 5 and 5 is a good bench player right there, and that's what Monse is doing tonight with that free throw. Mate gives her 8 points and 5 rebounds. She's definitely, like you said, in the makings of having a good night for herself.
Averaged 4 points and 3 rebounds last year on the national championship Eagles basketball team as she drains both free throws. And the Eagles going right back to their 2-2-1 press. Get it to Johnson, quickly back to, I believe, Berry. Johnson finds Triega. Loveman takes a screen from Robinson. She tries to go inside to Triega. Wolford on the move. Step through move to the basket. And that is a held ball. Possession arrow going towards Toccoa.
It's a good dribble drive by Jenna Wolford. Needs to maybe see the open teammate a little bit. She had 2 people running with her, kept it and tried to go through the double team, maybe try and find the open man for a layup.
Get it to Berry. Phelps with great defense. Switch to Triega, and they find Johnson in the corner. She drives on Torres. She couldn't do much, though, with 4 fouls to her name. Baseball pass to Phelps in transition. Hard drive to the cup, goes up strong. Count the basket and one, Braden.
Great dribble drive, Leah Phelps. Good transition offense. Great speed showing off there from Leah Phelps. Great finish.
Give her 20 points on the game, possibly 21 for her so far. She has a career high of 27 last year in the semifinal game against Ozark. Second attempt hits the front of the rim and falls in. And we mentioned the best time to apply a full court press is after the making of a field goal, a free throw rather. And Phelps picks up the foul.
Fouls on number 2, Rachel Phelps, her second of the night.
Rachel Phelps with 2 fouls now in this game. The only one in true foul trouble, like we talked about a couple times, is Monse Torres with 4. Also to be reminded, Jenna Wolford does have 3, so she also needs to be careful so she doesn't find herself on the bench.
Loveman gets it to Triega. Rather Berry. Berry drives on Phelps. Dishes it to Loveman. Triega in the corner. Drives hard and loses it. Johnson comes to the ball. Kicks corner. Loveman 3. And it's good. The third 3 of the game for Toccoa Falls brings the contest within 4. Phelps tries to recover the ball, yet loses it. Johnson drives hard, dumps it off to Johnson, rather Robinson, and she gets the deuce. Torres gets it back to Menser. Inside to Torres, works on her defender, and gets the bucket to go!
Great move by Monse Torres. Good 2-man game between her and Kristen Menser, up and down the floor, back and forth. Great give and go there. Good finish by Monse Torres.
Berry gets the step and throws it away. What a back and forth contest thus far, Braden.
This is a great game. A lot of pace, like we've talked about. Both teams are pressing, trying to turn each other over. This is a really, really exciting game to watch.
Menser and Brewer, not Brewer, but Marquise checks out the ball game. Actually, Wolford. And Butts checks into the competition as Robinson and Johnson checks out. Get it to Wolford with Phelps by her side. Phelps accelerates the ball, guarded by Loveman. Phelps finds Brewer. Wolford wide open for the first 3 of the ball game, just misses. Great rebound attempt there by Alyssa Brewer, and she'll head to the line.
That foul on Toccoa Falls, number 12, Emma Berry, her second foul of the contest, sends Alyssa Brewer to the line for 2.
First attempt up for Brewer, hits the front of the rim, no good. Now let's talk a little bit about Toccoa Falls, a very talented ball club, rather basketball program, facing Bob Jones, the South Region champion last year, only losing to them by a score in last year's semifinal. Berry gets to Loveman. Berry. Back to Loveman. Keeps the ball. Dumps it off to Deja. Smith, no good. Torres keeps her hands straight up and deflects the shot. And a held ball will go towards the Eagles, but a collision on the floor there for Brewer.
Great hustle by the Lady Eagles. Unfortunately, you have Monse Torres and Jenna Wolford both in foul trouble, standing underneath the basket, trying not to foul, but also at the same time trying to grab that rebound. Lady Eagles in a little bit of a tough position there, but they come out with the ball.
Rachel Phelps, dribble handoff to Brewer. She'll stop for a jumper of her own, no good. Rebounds her own miss, can't get it done. Smith secures the rebound for the Screaming Eagles. 2 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Loveman controls it. Double screen for Loveman, but Alyssa Brewer jumps it. Berry, 3 on the way. It hits the bottom of the net. The fourth 3 of the contest for Toccoa Falls, the Eagles with none. Brewer, hard drive to the rim, off the front of the basket, and she'll head to the charity stripe. Alyssa Brewer, Braden, explain to me her role here on this roster.
Being the starting point guard, her role is to be the facilitator and a little bit of a scorer. Brewer may not be a true shooter, but she can get to her spot, get to the mid-range, and she's also a really good passer, really smart, finds the open teammate. And as you see right there, she's smart. She misses her own shot but follows it, gets her own rebound, and puts it back up, gets herself at the free throw line.
That is a violation on Toccoa Falls. So Brewer will be awarded another free throw.
She probably won't be too mad about that, knowing that she just missed that one. Give her another chance here to get 2 free throws in one time.
Third time is the charm as she hits every area of the rim to make that one fall down. Torres checks out the ball game as well as Wolford. What a performance by her off the pine.
Both players there, Jenna Wolford and Monse Torres, playing really good. Both of them in a little bit of foul trouble, so Coach Seller sitting them down with a minute and a half left in the third. Probably trying to get them a little bit of rest and keep them fresh for the fourth quarter, hopefully keep them out of foul trouble.
Loveman gets it back to Berry, and she accelerates past the half-court line. Triega goes inside. Triega the 3. No good. Smith comes up with it and hits the deck. Loose ball, no one can get to it. Loveman corrals it. Berry back to Loveman with 12 remaining on the shot clock. Loveman gets it to Berry, full head of steam. Gets it to Butts, no good. They get the shot off in time, but Toccoa Falls will pick up a foul in the open court setting, and it will send Porter to the charity stripe.
That was a good defensive possession there by the Lady Eagles. A lot of communication and the switching that was going on, able to keep everybody guarded and force a tough shot with 1 second left on the shot clock. Great, hard-fought rebound for Amber Porter, and gets hacked on the way down, puts her at the free throw line for 2.
Leah Phelps checks back into the ball game for her sister. First attempt for Porter, hits the bottom of the rim. Her first opportunity for points for the game. Off the back of the rim, no good for Porter. Marcus tries to keep it alive, but off her knee. Under a minute remaining in this first half, rather third quarter. They get it to Berry. And that is a kickball violation awarded to Marcus.
That's great defense by the Lady Eagles, switching up to a 1-2-2 press instead of the usual 2-2-1, pressuring the inbounder and making it a little more difficult, like I talked about earlier, making the easy things difficult. The inbound is usually the easy part, and the Lady Eagles are making that part difficult for the Toccoa Falls.
A fresh 30 on the clock for Toccoa Falls. Here's Loveland trapped in the corner. Somehow finds Triaga. 4 seconds to get it over. And that's hit from behind by Phelps. Somehow Toccoa Falls manages to get an offense going. But a turnover at the end of the day with 38 seconds remaining on the game clock.
Great active hands from Pensacola. Gets a tip in the backcourt. It advances all the way up to the front court. And on a long skip pass, Amber Porter able to get a fingertip on it. Great team defense and great touches there from the Lady Eagles.
8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Here's Aitken. She had 8 yesterday in a loss against Faulkner. Phelps wide open, and that's the first three-pointer of the ball game coming at such a crucial time.
Great shot by Leah Phelps. Good find by Carissa Aiken. Dribbles in a little bit and pins down Leah's defender, able to leave her open for a wide-open 3.
They go to Deja Smith. She works inside, hard up the backboard, no good. Marquise the rebound. Marcus Rather. Here's Brewer. Corner, Phelps. 1 second to go, and a foul, rather a held ball.
It was a great look from Alyssa Brewer. Unfortunately, Leah Phelps unable to finish that, gets a held ball, and Toccoa gets possession with 0.7 left on the shot clock. Lady Eagles make sure not to foul here. Let this third quarter come to an end.
An 8-point deficit here for Toccoa Falls. Jalea Howard not getting much action since she now has 6 fouls, rather 4 fouls. We'll be back for the last 10 minutes of regulation. Welcome back, fans from all over, with a 54-46 lead for the Eagles. Braden Motter, what a competition we've been able to witness.
This is a super, super good game, Alvin. Really excited to see this game. Watch the finish here. Lady Eagles with a little bit of a lead here. We need to grow that a little bit. Get back into our press, turn them over. We didn't get too much pressure on them that third quarter. Need to turn it up here in the fourth, try and turn them over.
Howard in transition. She does have 4 fouls. Heads straight to the basket and kicks it. Beautiful pass to Loveman for a 3. Misses everything. She secures the rebound. That's blocked by Marcus. Beautiful ahead pass to Phelps. And that's blocked away by Butts. Phelps, leading scorer in this ballgame with 24 through 3 quarters. She has a game high of 27 against Ozarks University in Joplin, Mississippi. During the semifinal game of the national championship. Beautiful job by Aiken for drawing the foul.
That foul on Toccoa's Kenya Robinson, her 4th foul of the contest. Ref giving her a little bit of a talking to there, threw some attitude at her after that foul call she did not agree with.
And Aiken really inserted into the lineup as the starting center. So far with 6 starts in her career, 3 on the season. Talk about her effectiveness and influence on this ball team.
Stepping up as a senior this year, Carissa Aiken knew that she had to come into a little bit more of a dominating role for this Lady Eagles team, knowing that she has to come in and be that rebounding force that we were missing. And she's definitely stepped in and made that role her own this early on here in this 2022-2023 season.
difficulty to inbound the ball. Here's Howard. She'll take it herself. Julia Howard guarded by Brewer. She'll head to the basket. Find Robinson for the jumper. No good. Butts the rebound. Back in for Butts and good.
Big note for tonight's game. The Lady Eagles seem to be struggling on the defensive rebounds, giving up too many offensive rebounds for Toccoa Falls. Need to try and box people out, push them out of the paint. I've said that a few times here tonight.
Marcus, beautiful spin move to the lane. She'll go up strong. And she'll earn her 2 points at the free throw line.
It's a good dribble drive there by Kylie Marcus. Smart going to her left hand, knowing that she's a lot better with her right hand. Gets halfway downhill and then puts a little spin move on, gets a nice Euro step, gets fouled on the finish, puts her at the free throw line. 2 free ones for the Lady Eagles, trying to put them up by double digits.
First attempt is off the back of the rim. Marquis, the intramural, what we call collegiate Women's Athlete of the Year, playing for Delta Gamma as she splits the free throws. A recent addition for Coach Sellers, and certainly a good one, Kylie Marquis. And Phelps with the takeaway. One man to beat, easy off the glass for Phelps, and that's 26 for her.
1 point away from her career high. Leah Phelps is playing really, really well right now. She's, like we talked about earlier, getting to her spots, getting to her finishes, being smart, and getting good finishes at the rim.
Howard somehow gives the ball away, and she'll receive it and turn it away. Here is Brewer. And she'll get it to Phelps. Brewer finds Aiken on the top of the key. Floater in the lane and good for Aiken. Carissa Aiken now with 5 points. They get into Klaus, and it's good for her. Shortens the deficit back to 10. Brewer, hard drive to the basket, off the backboard, no good. Rebounds her own miss. Comes down with it. And that is a foul on the floor. And Phelps slow to get up. That foul was on Toccoa Falls. That is Butts' second.
Both guards for the Lady Eagles. Alyssa Brewer grimacing a little bit. I think she got hit in the head there in that scuffle. Leah Phelps grabbing her leg a little bit. Think she maybe got landed on by another player, but both seem to be okay and into action here.
They inbound it to Porter. Give and go to Brewer. Dumps it off to Aiken. And that is an offensive foul by Butts. That wipes away a potential another bucket for Carissa Aiken. Yet the Eagles will still return back to their 2-2-1 press. 7:28 even, remaining in regulation. Eagles up by 10, get it to Howard. Jalea Howard crosses the pass to Loveman, jumper on the way, falls out of the rim. Here is Brewer. Brewer in control of this ball game so far with 2 assists and the floater in the lane with confidence.
Good in and out move from Alyssa Brewer. Great dribble drive, lulled her defender to sleep and then exploded downhill. Good in and out move, good finish.
Howard takes the move inside and loses the ball. Butts gets to it, but Marquise saves it in the hands of Leah Phelps. We're off to the races here. Phelps stops on the dime for a jumper in rhythm. No good. Eagles up by 12. There's a jumper on the way for Toccoa Falls. No good. Klaus, the rebound, tries to save it right into the hands of Porter, but I believe Klaus stepped out of bounds before she can make something happen. Monse Torres and Jenna Wolford coming to the ball game here for Carissa Aiken and Amber Porter. And Rachel Phelps comes in for her sister. We were talking about Monse Torres. So far, 11 points and 5 boards in this ball game.
Monse playing really, really well. We talked about earlier, coming off the bench. I said give your coach 5 and 5 off the bench, and she's giving her coach 11 and 5. So I think she's having a great game. Hopefully she can help us on the boards here. Talked about earlier, Toccoa is really taking advantage of our undersizedness, if that's a word, and opening up the offensive rebounding for themselves.
Torres works inside. And I believe she takes too many steps before she can get the ball off the backboard. Great intentions by Torres. They go to Butts. Butts to Howard. Scoreless so far in this fourth quarter. They go corner to Barry.
Lady Eagles upping the pressure here in the half court, not just in the full court, making sure that they're pressuring the ball handler.
That's a block there by Brewer. Extreme pressure on Howard. Brewer, Wolford, corner to Marcus. Floater in the lane, just misses. Torres the rebound, fights for it. Here is Barry. Howard, retract dribble, cross court, and they get it in the hands of Robinson. But beautiful passing here by Toccoa Falls. Barry will let one fly, misses everything.
Lady Eagles playing good defense here, knowing who the shooters are, making sure we're tied tight to them, and good communication from the sideline. We can hear Coach Sellers standing from here calling out shooters, letting his players know where the players are at and being smart, not giving up good looks to good players.
Brewer, Torres, one more pass to the corner to Wolford. She lets it fly, and she connects for a triple. Beautiful basketball.
Huge shot there from Jenna Wolford. That's great ball movement by the Lady Eagles, passing the ball up the floor. I think there were 4 passes in a row there without a dribble. Leaves a wide open Jenna Wolford. Great shot in the corner, knocks it down, extends this lead to 15.
Yeah, not just a beautiful shot, but a great decision there by Monse Torres. She could have went up for an open drive floater, but she was aware of her player in the corner, and that converts for 3 points. The lead of 15 for the Eagles. We will step aside. .50 is the score. Eagles up convincingly. Alvin Chapman along with Braden Monder. Braden, what's been the key to this huge lead so far?
I think for the Lady Eagles, mainly in the first half, haven't seen it too much here in the second half, but in the first half, turning over Toccoa Falls. In the first half, they had 23 turnovers, and I'm sure at this point we're up above 30. So Lady Eagles turning up the pressure on the full court press, and here in the half court too, trying to pressure the ball handler a little bit more. I think those turnovers and then transition points are really what's opening up this Lady Eagles lead.
That's a miss by Toccoa Falls, but the ball will remain here with a fresh 20. Here's Howard. Tries to work on Phelps. She'll take a shot, misses everything. Torres the rebound. I believe that's her 7th. Howard gets in the passing lane in that situation, but the ball will remain here. Julia Howard with 2 steals so far, had 9 steals, rather 10 steals in their first game of the season against Payne College. Kiera Johnson checks into the ball game for Butts. And here's Brewer. Wolford drives inside, off the foot, I believe, Barry, and I will stay here. Brewer, the inbound. Torres. Wide open Brewer. She goes inside and dumps it off to Torres. And that ball will stay here with 11 remaining on the shot clock.
That's a good look from Alyssa Brewer, getting downhill, seeing the double come and trying to dump off, but good help defense from Toccoa, the third helper coming all the way across and getting that tip.
Jump pass to Wolford with 5 remaining on the shot clock. They get it to Marquise. She has to fire. And that is a shot clock violation in unfortunate circumstances here for the Lady Eagles.
Yeah, Jenna couldn't corral that pass and then forced Kylie into a tough shot there. Fadeaway 3 from about 30 feet, unfortunately. Unable to knock that down. Little turnover there from Pensacola. Need to try and turn Toccoa over, keep ourselves from turning over the ball.
Here is Barry. Go inside to Robinson. Howard, step through dribble. Johnson, a long 2 off the backboard, no good. Marcus controls the tempo. Met by Holland in the half-court setting. She'll get a step and kick it to Wolford. Phelps dumps it off to Torres. Marcus drives inside. Count the bucket and the foul for Kylie Marcus.
Great drive, like you just said, by Kylie Marcus. Way to get downhill and finish through the contact.
Phelps will come back into the contest for Alyssa Brewer. Alyssa Brewer playing some great minutes, but Phelps playing phenomenal. 1 point shy of her career high.
Leah Phelps is playing really, really well. Like we talked about so many times, she's getting to her spots. She knows where her spots are. She's found an open 3, but mid-range and the finishes at the rim are where she thrives, and that's where she's gotten today.
The incompletion of the 3-point play for Marcus. Here's Howard going the other direction. Robinson back to Howard. She'll let a 3 fly, and it's good for her. Her first points of the quarter. She now has 15. Marcus back to Phelps. Wolford, she'll let another one fly. Wedges in between the rim. Loveman picks up her dribble and finds Howard. Eagles up by 14. Howard double team. Off her foot. 3-pointer on the way for Toccoa. That misses everything. Phelps splits 2 defenders and she's on the move. Phelps, 1 man to beat, step through move, and that's good for Leah Phelps. She has 28.
That was a great dribble drive by Leah Phelps. Goes right at Jalea Howard, knowing that she has 4 fouls, goes right at her chest and forces her to get out of her way in a great up and under finish for Leah Phelps.
A convincing 16-point lead for the Eagles. Alvin Chapman and Braden Martyr, we will step aside. Welcome back, fans from all over. Alvin Chapman alongside Braden Motter. Braden, Leah Phelps now with the new career high of 28 points.
Like we've talked about so many times, getting to her spots, getting to her finishes, and like I just said that last time, knowing that number 4 has 4 fouls, goes right at her chest, knowing that she's either going to have to foul out or get out of your way, and that's exactly what happened. Leah with a new career high of 28. 2 minutes away from the end of the game. We may get her into the 30s by the end of the night.
The last person to have 30 here for the Eagles was Lauren Alvarez. She had a career high of 32 and beautiful passing by Toccoa. Just can't get the finish for Robinson. But Lauren Alvarez had 32 her sophomore year against Enterprise Community College in Enterprise, Alabama. Here comes a 3 from Phelps and uses the glass.
Rachel.
The bank is absolutely open. Doesn't matter if it's 3:45. 6:45 rather. Here is Howard. She'll drive hard on her defender. Torres doing an amazing job keeping her hands straight up, avoiding the contact, but Robinson will indeed head to the line. Aiken, Menser, and Brewer prepared to come to the table here for the Eagles with a minute 27 left in regulation.
Subbing in for the Eagles, number
Phelps,
4, Kristen Menser.
Torres,
number
and Marcus
24,
comes out the competition
Alyssa
as well.
Brewer, and number 33,
Not only does Phelps
Carissa
have a career high,
Aiken.
but Torres with a career high of 11 tonight.
Two really good games. I've talked about a couple times Monse coming off the bench. When you can produce like that off the bench, that really catches your coach's eye and makes him wonder if you should be coming off even earlier, if not starting. So Monse played really, really well tonight, 11 points, and I think you said 7 rebounds. That's a great game for her.
Phenomenal game for the junior. Here's Phelps. Aiken with the move and the floater in the lane, hard off the rim. Second chance opportunity for Menser, no good. Aiken, the strong rebound, can't corral it. Slips right through her hands. Howard heading the other direction. Patience inside, and that's tipped by Wolford. We're heading the other direction. A 3-on-2 break. Now everyone back in position. Under a minute left in regulation. The Eagles will assumingly walk away with this victory. Phelps goes inside and throws the ball away to Robinson. And that is a foul on the floor for Jenna Wolford. And that is her 5th. Rather 4th. 46 seconds remaining in regulation. And Braden Motter, a high-scoring game for the Eagles as Brewer gets the steal on Howard. And Wolford, all by herself, lays it off the glass easily.
It was great defense by Alyssa Brewer. A little bit of a lazy inbound there from Toccoa, and the alertness of Alyssa Brewer to get that steal and get the assist to the cutting Jenna Wolford.
Here is Howard. Loveman, jumper is good. And there's a timeout for Toccoa Falls as the Eagles now lead by 17, and we'll possibly walk away with this one.
Yes, we will, Alvin. This has been a really good game. 17-point lead with 20 seconds left. I'm pretty sure it's safe to say this one's out of reach for Toccoa tonight. Great game from the Lady Eagles, getting their first win of the season and a dominating win against an NCCA South Region opponent, Toccoa Falls.
Brandon, we do not award a player of the game or highlighter of the game here in these matchups. So who are 3 dominant forces in this ball game for Pensacola for you?
I think obviously we've talked about her so many times tonight. Leah Phelps setting her own career high with 28 points here. And I think Jenna Wolford had a really good game. I'm not sure of the exact numbers, but I know she took 2 charges and then had a few assists, knocked down a couple threes. And then I think the other one would be Monse Torres, we've talked about a few times, coming off the bench, being a force that maybe Toccoa didn't necessarily plan for the height and the mid-range and the rebounding that she brought. I think all 3 of those players made quite a difference tonight for the Lady Eagles.
Carissa Aiken preparing for the inbound, and they get it to Phelps. Phelps loses her defender, splits the defense, wide open to the basket, and that's a career high of 30 for Leah Phelps. Didn't seem like she had intentions to score, but when you bring the pressure, you got to do something with the basketball there, Braden. And Aiken with the rejection to end the game. And that's all she wrote for us there, Braden. 76-57 to score.
Great game for the Lady Eagles. We've talked about so many times. Walk away with a 19-point win against South Region opponent Toccoa Falls. Great game all the way around. Nobody tonight struggled for Pensacola. Everybody brought what they usually bring and showed the nation what the Lady Eagles are like this season.
And that's the first win in the column for Pensacola. Thank you so much for joining us here in the Nest, the home of the Pensacola Christian College Eagles. Don't go too far as we will be bringing the next matchup of the Pensacola Invitational as our men's basketball team will face off against the Screaming Eagles of Toccoa Falls. We'll see you shortly, but thank you so much for joining us.